Okay, so welcome everyone to this talk about the commission modules, OCA commission modules. So my name is Julien Guenat. I worked at OpenNet, which is a Swiss integrator of Odoo. I'm kind of both worlds also. I'm a developer, but I also do lots of business analyst, so yeah, 50-50 mostly. OCA commission modules, it's a repository with a lot of modules. So today's talk is to give you an introduction about how it works, so that if you want to use it, you know how it works. Then I will show you two implementations I did. One with a book editor and publisher, and the other one with LPs and CDs distribution in Switzerland. So he distributes LPs to music shops, which are then sold. Before beginning, also I want to thank all the contributors of the OCA Commissions repository. Those projects would not have been possible without them. So thanks a lot. So basically, how it works, you have agents, which is people or companies you will have to pay commission to, and then at sale order level or invoice line level, you can set up commissions agents on your lines. We will see later how it works more precisely. And then you have the settlement part. So a settlement is an aggregation of all the commission lines. And finally, you can generate a supplier invoice, so to pay your agent. So how to configure an agent? You use just a REST partner where you have to check the agent checkbox. You can set a commission type. For now, there is only one in the basic modules. Then you set up a default commission. And very important is the settlement period, which means that a settlement will be created for each period. So there, if it's annual, you will have one settlement for 2023 for the whole year for this agent. Then you have some settings in the commission computation. So you have different types. You can have a fixed percentage, so simply 10% of the sale order line, or you can have by sections, which means you can set specifically like between 0 to 10. You will have a 10%. Then above it, you will have more. And you also have a module that lets you input Python formulas directly, so you really have a big freedom on how you want to compute your commissions. Then there is the base amount you can configure. This is rather important. So by default, it's the gross amount, so that's the amount on your sale order line or customer invoice line. You also have the possibility to use the net amount, which is it took me some time to understand it, but basically you have your subtotal and you subtract to it the project standard cost times the quantity, and roughly that's the margin you make on your line. And then you have invoice status. It means it defines when you can settle the commission. So if it's invoice-based, you can make a settlement as soon as you have an open invoice. But you can also have payment-based, which means you will only be able to settle your commission when the invoice is paid or partially paid. So this is how it looks on an invoice. It adds a new column where you have an icon, you can click on it, and it opens wizard where you can set up the agent, the commission, and it computes the amount. And you have the total in the bottom. I will show you live afterwards. It will be more easier. Then, when you settle commissions, you have to choose a date, which has to be after the period you want to settle. And you can also filter agents if you only want a few of them, or if you want to settle all your agents, you just leave it empty. So it creates the settlement. Settlement is a record where you have date from, date to, depending on the period you define on your agents. And you find in there all the commission where they come from. So there it's invoice lines. And you have the total amount, which you can then invoice. But I will show you this right now. So let's jump into a demo database. So when you install the main commission modules, you have this nice menu there. And you have a view of your agent, so that's partners with the checkbox there. And you have this tab where you can set up, like I showed you before. And for the commission types, there you set up if it's a fixed percentage, and I can show you what's the formula, which is very interesting because then you can really do whatever you want there. You can use other fields. You just have to output a result for both cases, if it's a order line or account move line. This was very useful in the use case I will show you later. Then on an invoice, we'll create a new one quickly. Underline, no desk. 2 lines, this one. You have first to save your invoice before you can choose agents. That's important. But once it's saved, even in the draft, you have then this where you can add your agent there. I'll just disable debug mode, maybe it will be better. Yeah. So you add an agent. You can, if you want, there it's the default commission you set up on the agent, but you can change it on the fly if you want. And on the other line, we will also add one there. And you have your total of the commission there. We confirm the invoice, and then to settle it, you just have to the settlement and settle commissions. The invoice was made this month, so we will, if you want to settle it now, usually you wait beginning of next month, but if you want to settle it now, you can choose a date in the future. This is the invoice, we keep it empty, and it just generated the 2 settlements that we just made. And we can make a supplier invoice from there. So you can choose a project to just create one, and you are ready to pay your agents. Okay, so now for the use cases. So first one is irascible SRL. I'll show you. Okay, they had a lot articles. They have like more than 10,000 articles on their database, and they needed something to compute the commissions for their. They have a distributor with the other country. They import and then distribute it in Switzerland, and they needed a way to know how much they have to pay back the supplier. Also, they are also a label, and sometimes they have to pay artists based on what they sold. I had to improve a little bit to do a new module to be able to set default agents based on the product. So because we want to be as automated as much as possible, so when you create your invoice, it will look into the product and populate the agent automatically. That was the only modifications I needed to make for this project. Also, I added a small XLSX report, just so that he can communicate with his suppliers. So it's easier for them to communicate and then make exchange invoices and so on. Okay. Yes?
Yeah, so right now when you are selling an agent, I guess you link an agent to a partner, which would be like an employee, right?
Yeah.
So
no, not an employee, contact.
Just like a contact.
Yes, it can also be an employee, but it's not the same model.
Yeah. But yeah. So it means that when you are, on the previous example, when you are selecting an agent on the sales order line, it means that you directly, if I'm the salesman and I'm doing the sales order, when I'm going to add lines, by default it's going to be new, like agent, right? This is how it works.
I will show you how it works. It will be easier to understand. So let's go back there. I will just make sure it's installed. Yes, this one. So basically, what it does, it adds on your products. It adds this field where you can choose an agent. And when you use this product in your invoice, it will populate automatically the agent. Like this. You have it's already set up. Okay, maybe I will go into the other use case, which is a little bit more complex. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to interrupt me. So they sell books. So they have it's RF Fiction. It's a book publisher basically. They have a lot, like 400 books. So we needed a way to compute how much they have to pay the writers and co-editors. So I use the same module as we did before. There you set up agents, and it will be automatically populate on in the sale. Just change database. By the way, it's okay. I asked them to use the database for demonstration, and they agree to it. So let's take a complex one there. Up. So it was a huge work because they had to set up each product, but once it's done, it should be all automatically done. So we have an invoice with all the agents there. And they had, well, the complexity increased a little bit is that depending on the context of the sale, the commissions sometimes vary. So when they sell something from the website, they decided they want to have a higher commission for the editor. So I also had to make a very small module to be able to add an agent based on the commercial team. It's not all set up, but they use it for some. So that's when you choose an agent there, it will populate, it will be for all the invoice lines, it will add a new agent. Okay, then maybe I can show you what it will do when they settle all this. So this is still a kind of work in progress because the next big date is early 2024 when they will have to settle all the sales for 23. So let's do it now to see how it works. So I have to check the dates like 1st January and make settlements. And then I have all the book writers with what they sold during the year. And then they can, we'll see, but maybe communicate with them from there or other means, but it's always computed. Okay, maybe I can just finish with this. So those two modifications I made for the agents on the project on the sales team, it's not yet merged back to OCA because there is some incompatibility with another module that also adds agent lines. Because my module, I add agents when possible, but the other modules, he just replace. So, but I'll open a pull request and I'm sure we'll find some ways to make it work. I think the best solution will be to set up a system parameter or a configuration option when you can choose if you want to add agents or replace them based on where does the commission comes from. Okay, so that's what we thought. Yes. So as a final note, the base OCA commission modules, it covered 80% of the needs for this functionality. I just had to make two small modules, 30 lines of code each. And as I said, I will eventually contribute them back when I fix some compatibility issues. Okay. Has someone any questions about this? Yes?
Yes, so I have another question about the agent. So based on the setting, the agent is directly linked to a product, right?
Yeah.
So even if I'm the agent, I'm selling a product, is it possible to add new agent?
Yes.
Okay.
Go back there. You can on the fly edit there. So when I saved, it took the agents in the article there. This one. Well, it comes from sales teams actually, because it's not there. So it's from the sales team. Yeah, this one. But then, if you want, you can edit it on the fly. Yeah, you can add another agent, or you can even change the commission. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess yes, if you are able to code a little bit in Python, you can add whatever you want there. Here what we did is that we based the computation on the unit price, the price unit of the product, because we didn't want the commission to be dependent on the discounts. It was always the same amount for this book. There is also some other OCA modules that I didn't investigate, but it's also possible to do some stuff with, let's see, I will find it.
If you want, I can present that one because I worked for a year and a half on that one. But it's mostly now in version 14 with the migration. And that's kind of a pricing structure.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly this one I was talking about. It must be in the 14 branch. And it's, yeah, maybe one of those. I took a look at it, but it was easier for them to really configure product by product the agents instead of using price list or stuff like that.
Yeah, no. I mean, of course, I also really like your solution, which was different from the use case where we started from. I think this is your core.
Yes. Yeah.
You should have that one.
Yeah, you have a lot of modules. Yes. Yeah, I took a look at it, but it was more difficult to set up for this client. Okay. Has anyone a question? Yes?
Is there any integration with the front end where you have, for instance, as a client, a drop-down with all the agents and you select the agent you are contacted to, so the commission is distributed to that agent rather than being configured?
Yeah, I see what you mean, but no, there is no portal feature that I am aware of. I mostly worked on the 15 and 16 branches. Maybe in the 14 there was more, but yeah. What I did was add the chatter in the commission settlement that was merged in the 15 and 16. Just, yeah, you can communicate a little bit with your agents like that. Okay. More questions? So if not, maybe we can go to the lunch break a bit sooner. Thank you.